morning, everyone. Today we are going to solve some of the problem on Bresenham's line algorithm. In the last class, already I have explained you the how the algorithm being worked. So in today's class, I will give you just a recap on your Bresenham's line algorithm so that you can remember the formulas, how and where you are going to put it. And it will be better if along with me you also solve the same problem so that your doubt will get clear. Okay, so starting from the Bresenham's line algorithm, so here we should have the, so here what you are going to get is you will have the two endpoints. Okay, so in the question paper also you will be having two endpoints. The two endpoints you can write it down as your x0 comma y0 and another one in your x1 comma y1. So first you have to start the process with your first endpoint. Okay, so let's take the first endpoint as your x0 comma y0 and save it inside your frame buffer. Okay, so now through this we have to take some decision parameters and we are going to calculate some of the constants. So what all are the constant values we are going to calculate? We have to calculate the value of your dx, dy, 2dy and 2dy minus 2dx. Fine. So how you are going to calculate the value of your dx? Already I have told you in my previous class. Here you are going to find out from x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1, and you are going to put the same values here to find out the value of your 2 dy. So 2 into the value of dy, then you are going to find out the value of 2 dy minus 2 dx. Once you will find out this value, the first value of the first like the next pixel value we have to calculate from P0. Okay, so P0 will be equals to 2 dy minus dx. Okay, so here what you are going to do, P0 equals to 2 dy minus dx. So now in the next step, what you have to do is you have to continue this process starting from k equals to 0. Okay, so till where also you can ask till how many values we are going to continue this process. You have to continue this process till you will reach your second end point. Okay, so next is you have some conditions. You have to check that conditions. If this pk value, whatever the answer you got it from the beginning in the initial value, if it is less than 0, then you have to plot your next point as xk plus 1 comma yk. So you are going to increase your x value and you are going to keep your y value as it is. You are not going to increase it. Once you have done with that, next pk plus 1, you have to put this formula and you are going to get it. Suppose if in case pk value is greater than 0, then you have to increase, the next point will be you have to increase both x-axis value and y-axis value. And if you want to get the next point value, this one will be your formula. So this process you are going to repeat till you will reach in your second end point. Okay, so now I have an example. We'll see how this example works out. So let's take, you people also can solve with me. Let's take the two endpoints whatever has given in the question paper. The first endpoint is 30 comma 20 and the second endpoint is 40 comma 28. Okay, in the first I have told you in the first step, here you can see first you have to keep, or you are going to load your first point in the frame buffer, so that you are going to consider it as your x0 comma y0. So here you can see I have kept my first point like this. Okay, 30 comma 20. So I have to start the process in this way. Second case or second step, you have to calculate the value of your m. Before calculating the value of m, let's find out the value of your dy and dx. So here directly I have done. So what is the value of your dy? Y2 minus Y1. So Y2 is how much here? Y2 is 28. Then you can see here, 1 minute. So here you are going to calculate your Y2. So 28 to 20. Fine. So that is your y2 minus y1. What about this dx? That is your x2 minus x1. So 40 minus 30. So how much value you are getting? So your dy value will be 8, right? This is your dy value. What about your dx value? Dx value will be your 10. Okay. So now if you want to find out your m value, how you are going to do? The formula is dy by dx. So dy is 8 divided by dx value is 10. So 8 by 10 will be equals to 0.8. So you got the value of your m, and also you got your value of your dy and dx. So you are going to keep it as it is. Next point, you are going to calculate your, like I have told you that you have to calculate your you have to find out your initial decision parameter, and then here you can see some of the values are there, right? Some of the things we are going to calculate. So here first parameter p0, the formula is 2 dy minus dx. So here I'm just putting that formula 2 dy minus dx. All these things you have to remember, because how we got this p0 value already I have explained you in Bresenham's line algorithm. Okay, so from there we are just utilizing these formulas to find out the exact next pixel value. So here dy value is 8. From here you have put it. So 2 into 8 is 16 minus 10. So 6. So P0 value you got 6. Similarly, you have to calculate the next value. I have told you you have to calculate 2 dy value. So 2 dy will be 16, and 2 dy minus 2 dx. These all are the formulas. So here how much you are going to find out? So here 2 dy minus 2 dx equals to 2 into 8 minus 2 into 10. So 16 minus 10 will be equals to your minus 4. So what is the value of your 2 dy minus 2 dx? That will be equals to minus 4. Now you have to, once you have done with all the points, you have to plot the graph. So this is your starting point, this is your end point, and you are going to plot the graph. But how to plot the graph? We should know some of the values, right? So here you can see, according to my question, I have started from 30, 20, and I have to continue this process till 40, 28. So now as 30, 20 was my initial point, so I already got the P0 value. See here I have written in the side the formula so that you won't get confused, and you are going to calculate it. Okay. So now here first k value will be equals to 0. So if k value is equals to 0, I have to calculate P0 value. So P0 value to calculate, I have the formula. What is that? 2 dy minus dx. So I have already calculated this value where I got the answer as 6. So I'm just keeping that value here, 6. How also I got? I have explained it in the down part. Okay. So this line no need to write. If you want to write also, it is very good, so that you will also get clear how you got the answer. Okay. So now P0 value you got 6. So what is our conditions? We have to check in two terms. K value is less than 0 or greater than 0. So now here P0 value is 6. 6 we found that it is greater than 0. As it is greater than 0, we have to go for this else part. So here else part, you have to plot the next point. So in the next point, how you are going to plot? You have to increase both x and y value. So initial value was 30, 20. So now here you are going to increment by plus 1. So the new point you got it as 31, 21. Okay. So this value you got. Now in the next case, the P0 value we got. So when I will put the value of k equals to 1 in my next step, so P0, so here I have to calculate Pk plus 1, because k value also got increased. How I will calculate that one? as I am in the else part, so I have to take this formula only. So here pk plus 1, it means k equals to 0 in the sense p1 value will be equals to pk. Here you can see I have written the same formula here, okay, to know it in a better way. So pk plus 1 value is pk plus 2 dy minus 2 dx. This is the formula here. So pk value, how much we got here? 6. So I have kept it as 6 plus then 2 dy. 2 dy is how much? So dy and dx value already we calculated in the previous, and also directly we have calculated this 2 dy minus 2 dx. You can utilize direct value. If not, you can take it the individual values of dy and dx, and also you can calculate. So here 2 dy is 8. So 2 into 8 is 16. Dx value was 10. So 2 into 10 is 20. So if you will calculate this much, you will get it as your 2. So now as again we are going to check the conditions. So now this pk plus 1 is 2. So that is greater than 0. As it is greater than 0, again I have to come to the else part, where my next point both x and y will get increase. So here I got 32 comma 22. Fine. So now next one will be, here you can see next one. So here again p k plus 1 I have to find out which formula I will use. As I'm already in my else part, so I will use this formula. So here I have written pk plus 1 equals to pk plus 2 dy minus 2 dx. What was my previous pk value? I got 2. I have written here 2 plus 2 dy minus 2 dx. Similarly 16 minus 20. When I calculated, I got minus 20, minus 2, sorry. So here this minus 2 is less than 0 or greater than 0? It is less than 0. So now I have to go for my first if part. Okay. So here by seeing the if part, I should plot my next point. So in my next point, this x value has to increase, but y value will be constant. Here you see it was 32, so increased to 33, but it was 22. Keep it as your 22 only. Okay, so I got my next point. Now in the next case, I have to calculate the P3 value. So next pk plus 1 value, that is P3. So where I'm here only. So I have to utilize this formula. So here this formula is pk plus 1 equals to pk plus 2 dy. So what was my previous pk value? It was minus 2 plus 2 dy value is 8. So plus 16. So minus 2 plus 16, I got the value as 14. So 14 is greater than 0. So my both the values of x, because I'm in else part, so both the values will get increased, 34 comma 23. In the same way, you have to continue the process till you will reach with your second end point, that is 40 comma 28. So in the question paper, they will ask you that how many steps you require to reach to your destination point. Okay, so here you can see I have started from 0 to 9. So I need 10 steps to reach in my destination. So you are going to continue the process till you will reach in the same way. Okay. So moving towards then once it will be done, you have to plot the graph. That you don't forget. You have to plot the graph. Now here you can see some of the things like in Bresenham's algorithm. Suppose if you have the positive slope of a line, then you are if it is greater than 1, then the role of your x and y is getting interchange. How? So for your positive slope lines, if any initial positions of a line will be in the right end point, that is going to be like for both x and y is going to decrement. Okay, because we are moving from right to left, that you have to remember. So whenever your d values will be equal like your D1 equals to D2, that time you have to select your upper or your lower candidate pixels. Okay. But for your negative slope lines, what you're going to do, one coordinate will increase, but other coordinate will decrease. Okay. So that you have to remember. So, but some of the special cases will be there where in the vertical lines and your horizontal lines, it will be equals to 0. That time you have to consider your diagonal lines where the mod of dx will be equals to mod of dy. Okay. And all these, the values of your dx and dy, it will be loaded into directly into your frame buffer. So now this is my program which we are going to do it in our this is a C program has been written over here. So directly we are going to do the program in OpenGL platform, and in next class we are going to do it. So we'll just understand. So what all are the things? First, I have told you that we should have the initial points, that is x0, y0, that is one endpoint, another endpoint is x1 comma y1. Okay. So if you want, if you are getting confused, you can take the variable names according to you. So here the first step I have told you that we have to calculate the value of our dx and dy. So here you can see the dy value will be the second endpoint to the first endpoint. So y1 minus y0, dx will be equals to x1 minus x0. Next, you have to take some of the new variables where you are going to keep your first endpoint is in safe mode. So I'm just transferring my first endpoint values to x and second endpoint value to y, because once I will start calculating, my x0 and y0 value will get changed. So here I have kept my first initial value in x and y. Then next the formula comes. So the p value we are going to calculate, that is 2 dy minus dx. Then the conditions. Okay. Suppose if this value, the original value is less than your first value, because it should not exceed, right? So you can give your while loop or any loop conditions you can use. I have used your while loop. So it should not increase. If it will increase, then we should stop the process. That is our conditions. So inside that we have two if loop, if statement. So here in the first if statement, the condition is if the p is greater than equals to 0, then you are going to put this formula and you are going to increase your y value, but you are not going you are going to increase your y value. So that only I have written over here. Whatever you are going to increase, that only you are going to write. If it is less than equals to 0, then we are going to write the formula and we are going to increase the x value. You can ask me why we have not written the x value as incremented, because here already it will be in the incremented state. So no need to write inside the formula. Okay, directly if you will write also, the previous value also it will take. So here but here it won't take, because here it is in the else part and we are specifically we are writing that we are not calculating for your y part, so it will be constant. So this is your formula. Okay, formula things. Now coming to your main part, you know you are going to enter the coordinates of your first point. So these things and all, it has been, the drivers has been written only for your Turbo C, but we are going to do it in the OpenGL, so our drivers will be different. So here the printf statement will be there. Enter the coordinates of your first point. You have entered suppose 30 comma 20, whatever it is. Scanf. Then enter your coordinates of your second point. You have entered and you have saved it inside your x1 comma y1. Then lastly you are going to draw the line. So I have used here the function. The function name is draw line. So here draw line, so this thing. So once our cursor will come here, command prompt, it will go directly into this function and it will start executing. Then you have written the return type functions. Okay, so this way we are going to write the program in our OpenGL. So moving, and how you are going to see, you can see the output here also. You have to enter the coordinate points. For the first coordinate points 100 comma 100, suppose here the second coordinate points 200 comma 200, and you are going to get the line. So now we will see what all are the advantages and disadvantages we have got in Bresenham's line algorithm. So some of the advantages are like it involves only the integer arithmetic. That's the reason it is very simple, and it will never count the duplicate points. It will not calculate your duplicate points. Okay, and it is going to implement only in the hardware. That's why it will not use any kind of your multiplication or any kind of your division values. And as we had some of the disadvantages in our DDA, that is digital differential analyzer, so here it is very faster comparing to your DDA, and it will not involve into your floating point calculations. Okay, so these all are the basic advantages of your Bresenham's line algorithm. Coming to the disadvantages, so here you can see these disadvantages is like if you want to draw any kind of your basic line drawing, then you have to initialize. So this initialization will not be a part of your Bresenham's line algorithm, because here it will accept the smooth drawing of the lines. So you should if you want to use any other algorithm also, you can use, because there are many algorithms are available where you can utilize to find out the smooth lines. So that is one kind of your disadvantages of your Bresenham's line algorithm. Now let's have the comparison in between your DDA algorithm and Bresenham's line algorithm, because you may get 6 marks of question to find out the difference in between your DDA algorithm and Bresenham's line algorithm. So in DDA algorithm, it was using the floating point, okay, which is that is your real arithmetic. But in Bresenham's line algorithm, it is using the integer arithmetic. Okay, so that is the first point which you can remember. Here it was using the floating point, but here it was using the integer arithmetic. Okay, that is the first difference. Second difference is DDA algorithm was using in the multiplication and division operations. Okay, so what are the operations? It was using multiplication and division operations. But what about Bresenham's line algorithm? It's using the subtraction and addition operations. Okay, so it is quite easy to remember. Next point is in DDA algorithm, it was very slower than your Bresenham's line algorithm. It was slow, okay, but Bresenham's line algorithm, it was faster than your DDA algorithm. It is very easy to remember. You can see why it is happening like that, because in your DDA Bresenham's line algorithm, we were using the real arithmetic, okay. That is the reason it was like better than your DDA algorithm. So here also you can write the same thing, as we are using the addition and subtraction methodology and in the integer arithmetic. So that is the reason it was easy to calculate. Fine. Next one is in your fourth point. You can see the DDA algorithm is not accurate and efficient. Okay, it is not accurate. That is the first thing, because we were not having the points properly. But in Bresenham's algorithm, it is very accurate and efficient. Okay, so that is the fourth point of your DDA algorithm difference and Bresenham's line algorithm difference. In the last point, you can see in your DDA algorithm, it can draw the circle and curves, but not accurate as Bresenham's line algorithm. That is also a point. It is not accurate, so you can add your circle and curves over here. And here also it is more accurate. Okay, so this is the point. You have to remember that while drawing your circle or lines or anything, it will be more accurate. Fine. So these all are the difference in between your DDA algorithm and Bresenham's line algorithm. Moving towards your next slide, I have some of the exercises here, and I'll just show you the solution also, but it is better that if you can solve it. So this is a question. First you have to find out the values, then you have to plot the graph. This is one exercise. I have second exercise also. These questions have already come in your exam, so you can practice these questions and all. So once you solve this question, you can see the answers, you can match the answer with it, and you have to plot the graph. This is one more question. Here I have not given the graph, and but I have written all the steps, how it is finding, how it is getting the pixel. So here also you can follow this. One more, this is the last example from my side. You can see this example and can practice it. So hope you people have understood all the Bresenham's line algorithm concept and how to solve it. And these all are some of the exercise which you can practice at home. Thank you all.